Be honest with me for a second. Have you ever looked in the mirror after a haircut and thought, why do I look older, not younger? The truth is, the wrong haircut can add 10 years to your face, but the right one, it can take 10 years off. And after 60, that difference is life-changing. Hair is so much more than just hair. It's confidence, identity, and the way we tell the world who we are. But as we age, our hair changes, texture, thickness, even the way it flames our face. And here's the thing, what looked amazing on you at 40 might not be doing you any favors. Now, the good news, you don't need drastic surgery, expensive treatments, or endless products. Sometimes, all it takes is the right cut. In today's video, I'll share the 3 haircuts that instantly make women over 60 look fresher, lighter, and more vibrant. And I'll also show you the 3 cuts you'll want to avoid, because they can unintentionally make you look older or tired. This isn't about pretending to be 25 again. It's about celebrating your age with style, elegance, and cuts that work with you, not against you. So if you've ever felt stuck in a hairstyle rut, or you've been wondering what haircut will actually flatter me now, this video is for you. Stay with me until the end, because not only will I share the cuts, but I'll also explain the psychology of why certain styles instantly project youth and vitality. If you enjoy this kind of practical style advice, please hit subscribe now and join our timeless wisdom path community. You'll get more beauty, confidence, and life-enhancing tips made especially for women over 60. Why haircuts matter so much after 60. A haircut after 60 isn't a trivial cosmetic choice. It's a vital piece of how you present yourself to the world and how you feel inside. As bodies change with age, hair is no exception. Many women notice shifts in density, texture, and oil production as the scalp produces less natural oil and keratin production slows. That change can make hair feel drier, look thinner, and behave differently than it did in younger years. But the impact goes deeper than texture alone. The way hair frames your face influences perception. A cut that creates lift at the cheekbones and crown sends a visual cue of energy and liveliness. Conversely, a heavy, flat style can pull the eye downward and emphasize shadows or sagging. Psychology and first impressions matter. Movement and lightness in hair are subconsciously linked with vitality. Practically speaking, a smart haircut compensates for biology. Layers can add body to fine strands. Strategic length can avoid dragging the face down, and well-placed bangs can balance a forehead or soften deep lines without hiding your expression. The right cut also respects lifestyle. If you prefer low-effort mornings, a wash-and-go style with forgiving layers will keep you looking polished without daily fuss. If you enjoy styling, a versatile cut that accepts a blowout, waves, or smooth finish gives you creative options. Importantly, updating a haircut isn't about covering age. It's about amplifying the features that feel most like you today. When hair moves naturally and frames your face with intention, you'll notice not only strangers' first impressions change, but your posture, smile, and confidence shift too. Regular trends keep shapes fresh. A cut loses its lift after months of growth and can quietly revert to a look that reads older. Color and dimensional highlights are allies. Subtle lighter or darker pieces inside layers make hair appear thicker by creating depth. Ultimately, thinking of your haircut as the frame around your portrait helps. Choose a frame that enhances the painting, brings light to the face, and aligns with how you want to show up in the world. That simple mindset, but your hair should work with you, not against you, opens the door to small changes that have big emotional and visual payoffs. 1. The soft layered bob. The soft layered bob is one of the most reliable, flattering choices for women over 60 because it combines elegance, movement, and manageability. Picture a length that sits anywhere from the chin to just above the shoulders, with gentle internal layers that breathe life into each strand. Those layers are the secret. They prevent hair from sitting as a single heavy slab and instead create natural swing and dimension. When hair moves, it draws the eye upward and toward the higher planes of the face, cheekbones, eyes, and the crown. which instantly gives a fresher, lighter impression. A bob trimmed to the right length avoids dragging the jawline down. A cut that hits at the chin can highlight the cheeks, while a slightly longer bob that brushes the collarbone reads sophisticated without overwhelming facial features. Soft side swept bangs or wispy fringe are often paired with this style. They veil forehead lines gently and open the eyes, creating approachability without losing structure. The layered bob is wonderfully forgiving for mixed textures. Fine hair gains the illusion of volume because the layers make each section reflect light differently and resist limpness. Thicker hair benefits because layers remove bulk, making styling simpler and more comfortable. For waves and curls, the bob adds definition and shape, so locks appear purposely formed rather than unruly. From a styling perspective, it's low maintenance but always polished. A quick blow dry with a round brush creates lift. Air dry with a styling cream produces a modern tousled finish, and a light curling iron can add soft bends that read youthful. Color techniques, subtle highlights or lowlights work beautifully with the layers to add perceived density. Strategically placed lighter strands near the face brighten and give dimension to thinning areas. Psychologically, the soft layered bob signals contemporary freshness. Hair that moves, then has shape, says you care about appearance and vitality without being flashy. It reads as modern, not trendy for trend's sake, so it suits timeless style sensibilities. If you want to experiment without drastic change, the layered bob is a safe and high return choice. It modernizes and lightens the face while remaining classic enough to wear for years. Ask your stylist for soft internal layering, feathered ends, and a side part option to create asymmetry that flatters most face shapes. Keep trims every 8 to 12 weeks to maintain shape, and add lightweight products to encourage lift at the roots instead of weight. The result is hair that looks and feels like it belongs to a woman who knows herself. Confident, elegant, and alive. 2. The pixie with volume. A modern pixie with volume can be transformational for many women over 60, but it must be crafted with softness and texture to avoid appearing harsh. When done right, a pixie lifts the face, frames the eyes, and gives a sculpted yet approachable silhouette that often reads youthful and dynamic. The critical principle is volume on top. Layers at the crown create height and the illusion of density, which counteracts the flattening effect of thinning hair. Instead of hair lying flat against the scalp, controlled lift gives an almost facelifting visual effect. Edges should be feathered, not blunt, so the hairline blends into the skin in a flattering way, rather than creating a stark edge that emphasizes lines. Side-swept bangs soften the forehead and draw attention to the eyes, while tapered sides elongate the neck and keep the overall shape graceful. The pixie is particularly good at highlighting facial features. The eyes, cheekbones, and smile become focal points, and that intentional framing can boost confidence dramatically. A word of caution: very severe ultra-short crops can be unforgiving because they leave little room for softness. The trick is balance. Keep the top long enough to style for volume, and the sides trimmed but not shaved, unless that's a deliberate, well-suited look for you. Texture is everything. Ask for choppy internal layers your stylist will texturize, so you can style with a small amount of mousse or texturizing paste. That product gives lift at the roots and separates pieces for a lived-in, chic look. For evenings or special occasions, smoothing serum can add sophistication. For daytime, run your fingers through the crown for a refreshed, energetic appearance. Color also enhances the pixie. Subtle highlights throughout the top make the structure more dimensional and create the sense of thicker hair. Embracing natural silver can be striking with a pixie because the short shape reads modern and elegant when the color is embraced with pride. Psychologically, a voluminous pixie communicates boldness and self-possession. It tells the world you're intentional and confident. It's low on daily fucks, but high on personality, making it ideal for women who want an impactful yet practical change. If you're considering shorter lengths for the first time in years, try a progressive transition. Start with a cropped bob or long pixie and slowly go shorter as you and your stylist refine the shape. The payoff is more than aesthetics. Many women report feeling liberated, lighter, and more visible in the best sense. Their features shine, and their presence becomes more immediate. 3. The long layered shag. If you love length but want to avoid the weighed-down look that can age hair, the long layered shag is a superb compromise. This cut keeps movement and body while preserving the length you cherish. It uses a layering technique that removes bulk and introduces lift where hair otherwise might lie flat. Feathered, face-framing layers soften the jaw and add bounce, creating an impression of fullness even when strands are fine. The shag's signature textured ends and internal graduation prevent hair from hanging as a single lifeless curtain. Instead, it reads lively, textured, and modern. It's especially flattering for hair that has a natural wave or curl because the layers create definition and reduce frizz by removing excess weight that pulls curls down. For fine hair, the shag's shorter top layers and longer bottom layers give the illusion of thicker density because light reflects off multiple planes. The ideal length for maximum youthfulness tends to sit around the shoulders to a few inches below. Long enough to retain movement and styling options, but not so long that gravity counteracts the lift. Curtain bangs or wispy side bangs pair beautifully with a shag, offering a way to soften the forehead and blend into the layers without an abrupt, harsh fringe. Styling is forgiving. Air dry with a texturizing spray for a casual, beachy finish. A quick tousle with a large barrel iron adds romantic waves, or smooth blow dry for a sleek, contemporary look. Low-maintenance women love that a little grow-out actually enhances the shag's character. It rarely looks badly grown, unlike precision cuts that demand frequent trims to maintain an exact length. Color techniques, balayage, soft highlights, or strategically placed lowlights amplify the multidimensional effect and make hair appear denser. From a psychological viewpoint, the long layered shag signals both approachability and vibrancy. It reads as effortless, yet intentional, a look for women who are comfortable with a playful, youthful edge, while remaining stylishly mature. If you're worried about upkeep, ask your stylist for blended layers and a soft perimeter, so you can stretch salon visits a bit longer without losing the haircut's essence. The shag invites a movement into every step you take, and movement is one of the simplest visual cues that communicates health and energy. 3 haircuts you should avoid. Number 1. Avoid the overly short, harsh crop. Short hair can be stunning. We covered a soft pixie earlier. But an overly severe, close-cropped cut often reads harsh rather than flattering for many women over 60. The problem arises when the haircut leaves no room for softness. Razor-sharp edges and minimal texture expose the contours of the face without the gentle framing that hides or softens shadows and lines. That blunt proximity to the skin can accentuate fine lines, deepen perceived hollows, and highlight jawline sagging in a way that many women don't intend. Additionally, a very tight crop can adopt a more masculine silhouette unless carefully balanced with texture and softened edges. And that mismatch can feel discordant for someone who wants a feminine, warm impression. Practicality is a common reason women try this cut. It's low maintenance and easy to manage, but convenience doesn't have to mean severe. A low-maintenance cut can still preserve femininity through soft layering, a longer top, or a side swept fringe that offers options for styling. If you're drawn to the idea of very short hair, consider a textured long pixie as a kinder alternative. Keep some length to create volume on top and feathered edges to blur the line between hair and skin, which reads gentler and more flattering. The severe crop also has another subtle psychological effect. It can unintentionally signal rigidity or austerity, because its precision leaves little room for movement or warmth. Hair that moves suggests openness and vitality. Hair that is too rigid suggests the opposite. If you already have sharper facial features, a severe crop may amplify them in ways you didn't expect. But there are women for whom a bold, minimal crop is absolutely the right statement. The key is honest styling and a face-to-style match. Talk with a skilled stylist about how much softness to keep at the perimeter, and whether a slightly longer top could give you the benefits of short hair while preserving approachability. With those small adaptations, you'll retain low upkeep without sacrificing the flattering, youthful cues that movement and texture provide. Number 2, avoid long, heavy, one-length hair. Keeping long hair is lovely, but when it's cut as a heavy, single-length block with no layers, it can unintentionally age your appearance. One-length hair has a tendency to act like a curtain. It hangs straight down and can drag the visual weight of the face toward the chin and neck, emphasizing loss of definition or sagging that naturally occurs with age. Additionally, long, unlayered lengths can reveal thinning ends and lack of movement, making hair appear lifeless or stringy rather than vibrant. It is especially true when hair lacks dimensional color. A flat tone across a long length reduces perceived volume. The remedy is not to abandon length, but to introduce shape. Long layered cuts or a soft modern shag preserve the length you love, while removing weight where it counts and adding lift where hair needs it most. Feathered layers around the face create gentle framing that draws attention upward to the eyes and cheekbones. Even subtle face framing pieces or curtain bangs can drastically change the read of long hair. Instead of pulling the face down, you get a sculpted, youthful silhouette. For maintenance, ask your stylist to thin selectively rather than bluntly. The goal is to create movement without creating frizz or an overly choppy look. Coloring techniques like balayage or soft highlights add apparent density by creating contrasts of light and shadow within the hair, which tricks the eye into seeing more body. If you worry about losing femininity with the addition of layers, remember that layers can be tailored. Long, soft layers retain femininity while adding an energetic, modern edge. Psychologically, heavy one-length hair can signal stuck in time. Updating the shape communicates evolution and care. You don't need to surrender your length. You just needed to give it a frame that flatters your face today. A few well-placed layers and a refreshed color palette often make a dramatic difference without compromising the length you love. Number 3. Avoid helmet hair, rigid bob. The rigid helmet-like bob, the perfectly rounded, heavily set style that never moves, can look polished at a glance, but it often reads dated and can harden the face in ways that age you. This haircut's lack of movement and sculpted boxy silhouette creates a visual barrier between you and the world. It signals stiffness rather than the gentle fluidity associated with youth and approachability. Because it sits so close to the head and often has blunt, uniform length, the helmet bob can accentuate angular features and emphasize fine lines instead of softening them. The antidote is texture and intentional imperfection. A modern bob with internal layers, a slightly off-center part, and soft, feathered ends will maintain polish without sacrificing movement. A tousled or slightly undone finish breaks the helmet effect and reads much more contemporary and alive. When choosing a haircut overall, think through 3 practical touchstones: face shape, texture, and lifestyle. Face shape guides where to add width or height. Short layers at the crown elongate round faces, while side-swept bangs soften square jaws. Texture determines what cuts will behave predictably. Fine hair benefits from shorter shapes with internal layering to fabricate density, while thick hair needs weight removal so it doesn't overwhelm. Lifestyle decides how much daily attention the cut should demand. Choose a style that you can happily maintain between salon visits. Bring pictures to your stylist to bridge the language gap. Ask for specifics like soft layers, feathered edges, light face framing pieces, or texturized crown rather than vague requests. Psychologically, an updated cut does more than change appearance. It shifts identity. Hair that moves makes you hold your head differently, smile more readily, and step out with increased confidence. That internal shift often results in social changes. You're more likely to engage, try new styles, and carry yourself with an energized posture. Remember, the goal isn't to erase years, but to reflect who you are now, vibrant, experienced, and fully yourself. Small, smart adjustments, a layer here, a softer fringe there, a bit of dimensional color can create a ripple effect that changes how you feel and how you're perceived. When you leave the salon with a cut that works with your features and your life, it's not just a new hairstyle. It's a renewed way of showing up. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video inspired you, please subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path. Share it with a friend who could use a confidence boost. And tell me in the comments which cut you feel ready to try next. Remember, the right haircut honors who you are today and helps you step out into the world with renewed confidence.